Hey, and welcome to iHeart Intellectual Radio, Black Conservative Podcast. I am your host, Alan J. Campbell, aka the Batman, here in the city of Gotham. Okay, I want to get into a couple of things, but first things first. Um, we today, if you haven't heard by now, um, we we lost an icon today, an icon, and I say an icon. Uh, that word is it's an understatement to this man today. James Earl Jones passed away. Yes, at the age of 93. Now, if for those of you who don't know who he is, you've been living under a rock for 30 years. I mean, this is the man who exemplified film, television, theater, and voiceovers. I mean, he had such a resounding voice. This was like, I would liken him to, say, your father walking into the room. And when he speaks, you clap your heels together, hands are at your sides, and your chin is up. You come to an immediate attention when this man spoke. The plethora of films and television, it spans. Oh my gosh, it spans some 50 years. Some 50 years. He's better known as to give you all more of an idea. James Earl Jones was the voice of Darth Vader. The voice of Darth Vader. Luke, I am your father. Yes, my man Earl was saying that was good. It's a couple other lines that we could go on and on about. And the idea is that, he was born in 1931 and he passed in 2024. But when you look at the dash in between the two numbers, you can't imagine that line that's being filled. And when you look at some of his films and hear his voice, I mean, for those and even going further back, there was a movie called The Great White Hype that was based on the boxing champion Jack Johnson. There was another movie. This is a movie that I recommend anybody if you really want to understand the demographics of the Black household and how and this is going to lead into a couple other things, how the Democratic Party has ruined the Black household. There was a movie that he was in with Diana Carroll called Claudine. I highly recommend you look at this film. This is a prime example of how how quote unquote democracy destroyed the Black family. How it did that. Okay. And when you look at that movie, I mean, there's we could go on and on and on about that. But it's just it's just heartfelt. It's just, for those who grew up watching him, and not only that, but the movie Field of Dreams, um all the Tom Clancy novels that were turned into movies. The first one was when I with far as Tom Clancy and James Earl Jones played the character of Admiral Greer. And he was the CIA. He was the director of the CIA. He was the voice for those who grew up and saw the 94 version of The Lion King. He was the voice of Mustafa. The voice of Mustafa. and it just, just various, various films and television that we can go on and on and on and talk about, that and it's a um it is a and it's a great loss. It's definitely a great loss. uh the passing of a legend, an icon, James Earl Jones, dead at the age of 93. So moving on to a couple of other things now. um so tomorrow, okay, here's the thing, and I'm gonna just jump right into this. I'm gonna jump right into it. So tomorrow is the presidential election of of the two presidential candidates. Um, in this corner we have Kamala Jackass Harris, and I say that with the deepest of passion, jackass, because every time you see this heifer, she's always giggling and laughing like somebody's tickling her nether regions, like they've never before, just giggling and laughing. And I'm not understanding, just kind of not understanding that. And in this corner, we have the heavyweight Donald J. Trump. Okay, now let's be totally honest. I mean, this thing here, and then it's building up to be what I would deem tomorrow's debate. Tomorrow's debate is going to define the next. It's going to define the next 55 days. Okay, this is going to define the presidency. This is going to find you're going to find you got two. You got you got a heavyweight, and then you got a contender. I'm just, and I'm being facetious when I say this about this broad. Okay, I'm saying that I'm being very facetious because I'm gonna make it. I mean, I make no bones. I don't like the mother. This mother. I don't. She has no policy. She has no agenda. She has no policy. She has an agenda. It's called stupidity. And I'm gonna say this point blank. If you go out here, and you're still voting, then you're black and you're still voting Democrat, you're stupid. And I'm gonna be the point blank period and say that because we okay. So we're gonna put a small disclaimer. Okay, in my opinion, if you go out here November 5th and you vote Democrat, you're still voting Democrat, you're stupid. We have to start waking up and looking at what this party has done to the black community. Here's something that's really mind blowing, and people are not paying. See, you're not paying attention. This is all Democrats, and see, this is one of the things that they're going to hit on, that they're subject to hit on. In Colorado, Aurora, Colorado, they have migrants, illegals, quote unquote, illegal migrants. This is a gang of individuals from Mexico, that these individuals have taken over an entire apartment complex. This gang of illegals that came here under the Biden and Harris administration, and they have taken over an apartment complex in Aurora, Colorado. Okay, if you don't believe me, fact check, look it up, pull it up. Aurora, Colorado. Uh, uh, um, this Mexican gang, these Venezuelans illegals have Venezuelan gangs have taken over an entire apartment. Now there was speculation, it's not been confirmed, but there was rumors and speculation that those same Venezuelan gangs were here in Chicago and were trying to take over an apartment building on the northwest side. Okay, that report has not been confirmed, let alone it has been denied. They're not denying it, let alone confirming it. So this is still a hot button topic. But this goes back to the issue of so-called Democratic policy. Well, we want to let everybody come. Everybody's free to go. No, they're not free to come here. No, everybody shouldn't come here because because they are not beneficial and serve no purpose. Okay. Not only that, look this one up. Fact check all of this stuff, people, and look it up. It's right there on most of your social platforms. There was a woman who completely destroyed Brandon Johnson and the city council on these migrants that have basically, listen, you all, listen to this here. The fact that they've taken this money to give to these migrants have come, the city is on the verge of bankruptcy. The city has a shortfall of $984 million. $9 million plus dollars, a shortfall. They're almost $1 billion in debt. The city of Chicago, under this circus clown, Brandon Johnson. And it's a known, a lot of this is coming out, and it's a known fact. Look this, I'm telling you, pull this up. This is the worst administration that the city of Chicago has experienced, and to be in this budget crunch. Guess what? When you have a budget shortfall, now here's the other thing: Brandon Johnson has to present a balanced budget by October 1st. Where is he going to get $900 million? He's not going to get it off the back of a turnip truck. Wait, there's more. The fact that the city is $900 million and has a $9 million shortfall, that they have to do what? They have to put a freeze on. They have to put a freeze on hiring. Guess what? There's even more. If there's a freeze on hiring, that means that raises and promotions or levels of advancements are put on hold. Democrats, I can't stress that enough. Democrats are completely running the city into the ground. But here's the punchline. Some of you knuckleheads that voted for this fool, you wanted him, now you got him, and he's really ramming it to you. He's giving it to you with both fists. Ouch. Some of you can't even sit down now. $984 million shortfall. Almost $1 billion. Wait, not to mention a lot of that money went to migrants. Well over 300,000 plus. Now that's just what we know of. They haven't even got to the parts where it's millions and millions of dollars. And this joker, this clown, well, we're waiting for the federal government to give us some money. No, they're not going to do that, because first and foremost, this is what happens when you get people who come here and become a burden on the system. You're rewarding, once again, as this woman said in Congress, why are we rewarding people who break the law? Now let me jump over to this. Let me jump over to Jackass Harris. This heifer says, oh, what we're going to do is that we're going to give amnesty to everybody that came here illegally. What? Huh? Say, Oh, yeah. Yes, we're going to give them amnesty. You fool. She don't even know. Hey, listen, why don't she talk to the real people? Why don't she talk to the people who's dealt with a struggle meal? Well, let me ask you. I think I asked you this once before. Earl, you know what a struggle meal is? Okay. So you have no idea what a struggle meal is. Okay. So just so that I'm clear, Earl even says he has no. Wait, in fact, this is what I'm going to do. Just so that you all know. Okay, let's be clear. I'm going to leave that question on the table. Give me a call here at the studio. And if you know what a struggle meal is, call me right now at 708-223-8953. 708-223-8953. If you know what a struggle meal is, or you know what it is, or you've had a struggle meal, please, by all means, call me. Please call me and tell me what it is. because a lot of us know what it is, and some of people don't. Kamala Harris is one of those individuals who doesn't know what a struggle meal is, because what? She's never had one. Wait, there's more. There's more. There's a report that back in the day, Kamala Harris was involved in a hit and run accident. Here's the story. She struck an individual, tried to leave the scene. The individual, the victim, objected. The people that were surrounding her or part of her team came and intimidated the victim who was hit and tried to make it go away. Wait, there's more. She has the highest conviction rate of any attorney general in the state of California for incarcerating black men. The highest incarceration rate of black men in the state of California. And here's the thing: a lot of these were low-level drug offenses. There's a man suing her. See, this is one of the things that the media is trying to suppress. There are several individuals that are suing her for wrongful convictions. Even Illinois is the #1 state for wrongful convictions. And, Kim Foxx did a bang up job of straightening that mess out. A terrible job. And thank goodness she's on her way out. She's not coming back. Go somewhere, crawl into a hole, and pull the hole in over you, because we don't want to see you anymore. But this is the unfortunate. This is what we're not going to say unfortunate, but this is what we're dealing with. This is what happens when we keep doing the same thing over and over. This is as Einstein says, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over and over and expecting a different result. This is what we've been doing for the last 50 years, pushing Democrat, and we have not yet seen any type of resounding effect. Oh, well, let me take that back. Yes, we have seen a resounding effect. We have seen our incomes go down. We have seen our homes broken. We have seen our men incarcerated. And not only that, but we have also seen our men become effeminate or feminized. This is a way of keeping people from procreating. Here's Harris's agenda. What we want to do is that we want to quote unquote, she wants to talk about women's rights. Here's the thing. What do you know about women's rights? Okay, just because you are a woman by gender, does that give you a real platform? Because see, you don't have any children. She doesn't have any children of her own. She married a Jew. So, and then she's Indian, her father's Jamaican. So where does the black part come in? Not to mention that she has distanced herself from her quote black sorority sisters. Her black sorority sisters from where? Howard University. Not to mention, so you got to pay attention. These are things that I do, and I enjoy politics, and I try to pay close attention to certain things. So as of right now, both of the candidates are basically, it's a dead heat. Okay. But the momentum is starting to trail off. This is what we have sometimes, like the hot prospect that we expect them to, we bring them up, we bring them up from the minors, or we put them in a clutch position of a game, and they may perform up until a point, but then they don't have any staying power, and that's Kamala Harris. She has no staying power. This is the individual that supposedly went to the border, quote unquote. And Lester Holt asked her the question. He said, well, you haven't been to, you haven't been to the border. She says, yes, we have been. She said, yes, we have been. He said, no, you haven't. You haven't been to the border. And she said, wait. She said, and her response was, look this up with the interview with Lester Holt. She says, no, I haven't been to the border, and I haven't been to Europe either. So what kind of idiot would make a response statement like that? Okay. Um, just a sidebar. So I had um here's one of the here's an here's a comment concerning a struggle concerning a struggle meal, concerning a struggle meal, a mayonnaise sandwich, a syrup sandwich, French fry sandwich, so you can be full. These are look, please. If you don't want to call you call in or comment, because I'm this is just on the YouTube platform. Please comment. All of this is very helpful because see, we're talking about these dummy Democrats who are trying to feed you all what a struggle meal. They're trying to feed you a mayonnaise sandwich and telling you that it's cod. They're feeding you a syrup sandwich and they're trying to convince you that these are pancakes. Look here, let me tell you something. Let me tell you one goddamn thing. Just because you pour ketchup on pancakes doesn't make it syrup. And this is what the Democrats are continuously doing. Continuously doing. The candidates are neck and neck at 49 apiece, 49% apiece. But what's also happening is that they're seeing Harris slipping in the polls in the battleground states. And when I say the battleground states, she's slipping because these are real people who have experienced experience struggle meals. Or here's another comment. The Democrats, here's another comment. The Democrats have a tendency to piss on you and tell you it's yellow rain. Very good. I like that. It's with them, it's smoke and mirrors. It's sleight of hand. It's a magic show. It is a a calamity of fools gathered in one room and trying to push a certain agenda that they think that is suitable, and it's not. It isn't. So and when I the battleground states are these. Okay, these are California, Arizona, Nevada, um, Wisconsin, Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and Virginia, West Virginia, and possibly the Carolinas, Georgia for one, and Florida. Those are battleground states, and I'm gonna tell you, those states are gonna go red this year because see what they're counting on. See, the Democrats. Here's the other thing about the Democrats. The Democrats count on people's gullibility. And that's the unfortunate part, that there are a lot of people that a lot of individuals are very gullible because they accept what's being told to them instead of looking into it, instead of saying, hey, wait a minute, what are you going to do for me? There are a lot of people that are turning. There are a lot of people, they're not even talking about this. See, this is what the media wants you to, they don't want you to know. They don't want you to know that there is a growing wave of blacks that are going that are no longer voting Democrats, Democrats. They're not doing it. There was a woman who gave it to the city council and Brandon Johnson when they were talking about doing more for the migrants. When this woman got up in the city council and she read them the riot act and say, why are you doing so much for these migrants when you got people that are homeless? You got communities on the south and west side that are completely destroyed and dying, and you're not putting any money back into these communities, but you're shelling out money for these immigrants. And that woman point blank said, be prepared for Chicago, be prepared for a lot of blacks in Chicago to vote red. She said this, and I see that happening because the Democrats, they're banking on people's gullibility. That's what they're banking on. And black women, I'm telling you, mark my words, be wary of this woman. She is not who she says she is. First of all, let's be clear, and I'm going to keep hammering this way until it gets through your thick skull. Harris is not black. She's of Indian descent and Jamaican. Also, birth certificate, her BC also says race, child, Indian, father, Jamaican, French, mother, Indian. And in the famous words of Donald Trump, I want to know, when did she turn black? And the way he said black was so funny. He says, I just want to know, when did she turn black? But she's always said she was Indian, and on her birth certificate it says Indian, but when did she turn black? If you don't believe me, pull up the interview that Donald Trump had with the National Association of Black Journalists when he completely crucified these black women journalists who tried to humiliate Trump, and he shut them down. Once again, these were black women sent in by white men to try and attack another white man. See, black women, you have to understand, this is a slave mentality of what the white man of white America does to our black women to destroy other men, black men and white men. Wake up. It's not a matter of a woke society. It's a matter we have to look at things for what it really is and not what we want it to be. A couple of more things about struggle meals. This this is good. Rice, sugar, salt, and butter. Yeah. Yes, this was good. Yes, and thank you for this other comment concerning James Earl Jones. He went on to say James Earl Jones was not only an icon, he was and always to be a legend. I agree. I absolutely agree. And, to get back, I just want to make sure that when you all comment that I do when you comment, I do see them, and I will do my best to acknowledge them. Time providing. But this thing tomorrow. And when I was and doing some research this evening and concerning the debate, and when they were talking about Harris was trying to duck and dodge and reschedule, and I want to bring notes to the debate. Say what now? Where in the world do we bring notes to a debate? That's like failing. That's like somebody's failing an open book quiz. She probably was one to fail. Well, you know what? Let's put it that way. She did fail an open book quiz because she failed the bar exam. Remember now, this woman does not have a license to practice law, but she wound up being the attorney general of the state of California. I'm trying to understand, how do you become the attorney general of a state with not passing the bar exam? I'm trying to understand that ideology. Now, we can suggest how she actually got there, and that's keeping it clean. We can go on the belief or the assumption or suggestion, but it's apparent. It's obvious. It's as obvious as a nose on our face. She worked her way up. She worked from man to man, from bedroom to bedroom to get to where she is. And people say, "Oh my goodness, that's simple." No, it's very true. Look it up.
Can I ask a question?
Yep.
Okay, now Trump, I was reading somewhere it says Trump's strategy to win is to put Kamala down. And you're doing the same thing.
No, it's not. Wait. That's not what. That's not. Wait.
Can I hear more about what Trump is going to do versus what Kamala ain't going to do?
Well, Trump don't. He don't. Wait. Okay. You say what he's going to do?
I want to hear something. Just tell me. Tell me some of the things that he's going to do. What is Trump going to do once he's elected? Just give me some of the things that he's going to do.
What he's going to do? He's elected. Right. He's going to close the borders, which should be done. He's got to close the borders.
Keep going.
He's going to close the borders. He's going to once again restructure the tax codes where everybody, not just a certain few, but everybody gets more money. Everybody. He's going to what? Bring jobs that have somehow or another slipped under the wire out of the United States under the Biden-Harris administration. Bring those jobs back. Here's the thing. Since and this is not putting them down, name me one thing that Joe Biden has brought back to America that everybody benefits from. I'll wait. He says ask a scholar, but let me go. Okay, so wait. So with Trump, not only did he bring he brought two major car manufacturers back from Mexico back to America. The unemployment rate was at a 40-year low. Yes. No. Some, if you got information, people, correct me. Wait, just another comment from the struggle meal page. Cornbread, milk, and sugar. Okay. Okay, wait a minute. I got one. How about this? Hot water cornbread. How about this one? Homemade syrup where you just add butter and sugar in the water. These are struggle meals. I'm a sidebar for a minute. So Earl said he doesn't have any idea what a struggle meal is. Basically, if Harris gets in, be prepared for those struggle meals because it's gonna happen. It's happening right now because of bald head Biden, Sleepy Joe. When you're going to the store and the bread costs more than the meat. That's insane. I was in the store just yesterday. $4.89 for a loaf of bread. A loaf. $4.89 for a loaf of bread. That's just insane. You can't even afford the meat to go. You can't afford the meat and the cheese to go on the bread. This dude and these two clowns, they're like Bozo and Bingo. If anyone ever remember the Bozo show, they had several clowns. They had Cookie, Bozo, Bingo, and the other guy, Wizard. Harris is the wizard because if you ever watched the Bozo show, Bozo was the top guy, but then he had Wizzo, who was basically he was just a terrible magician. That's Harris. I went to the border. No, you didn't. Yes, we went. Then she said we went to the border. He said, no, you didn't go to the border. I know I haven't been to the border, but I haven't been to Europe either. Wow. You have to ask yourself between her and Biden, which one is worse as far as cognitive senses. Moving on. Let's see. It's a few more, and I'm gonna try to get to. Time permitting, I'm gonna get to all of these comments. All of these comments.
I'm doing some research as we're talking.
Yeah,
and it says Trump added nearly twice as much to the debt.
Has what?
He added nearly twice as much.
Wait,
he had 8.4 trillion to the debt, and Biden 4.3 trillion.
Well, that's any president. That's any president, because you have to realize when we talk about debt, when we talk now, people, we're finna get into some money, financial. We finna get into some financial discussion. So this might hurt some of y'all heads. So this may take you back to math class in high school. When you talk about a national debt, here's the reason why we are at the amount of debt that we're in. This is money that the United States basically borrowed during World War II to fund the war efforts. This is money that they haven't paid back to the cities that the cities that they destroyed, such as Japan and parts of Germany. They have to pay. This is oh, wait a minute. We're talking about also money that they had to give Vietnam for destroying that country.
I'm just doing some reading here. It says, and the hiring, it says 3 years and 5 months into Biden's term, the U.S. economy has created 15.6 million jobs. That compares with job losses totaling 12.6 million under Trump.
But see, we have to understand, when you're talking about jobs, see, you have to look at the job losses.
I feel like I'm talking to Trump.
No. You feel when you talk. See, here's the thing, and see, this is what you have to understand. Wait. No. But I'm gonna break it down. No. But I'm gonna break it down for you.
It says 12.6 million lost up under Trump.
Well, see, you have to wait. When you talk about losses under Trump, we have to look at what these jobs that were struggling before the administration, and they wind up being part of that, because every administration inherits certain levels of debt or certain policies. Every administration. So when Obama came, when Obama was out of office, and then Trump inherited whatever debt Obama created, and then Joe Biden inherited whatever debt Biden created, and so on and so forth. Because what happens, the debt is never going down.
I understand what you're saying, but just so you know, under Biden it was 4.3 trillion. Under Trump it was 8.4.
But see, you have to look at you have to look at the carryover. You have to look. You got to go further back.
Okay, if you look at the carryover.
Okay, what was if you go back?
What's saying, if you look at the carryover, what I'm saying is, Biden is still half.
No, but you go back. It's a carryover. Okay. See, you got to look. When I say carryover, that carryover is it's not Biden's, because every administration carries something from the previous administration, even debt or when it's going down. Biden is going to get credit for the debt went down. No, that's part of Trump's administration. Now, whoever becomes the next one, they're going to inherit that, and it's going to continue to slide back, or whatever happens. That's how the debt works, because you inherit something from someone else. Because the debt we're still paying off. Debt from war efforts. We're still paying that. Also, the fact that they're not putting a lot of money back into Social Security. Just wait. Let's see. As of a comment here, as of April, the U.S. owes $1.1 trillion. The U.S. owes Japan, as of 4/24. This is current. Now, this is only 4 months ago. This is the money that each administration keeps inheriting to pay, because they haven't paid. The previous administration hasn't paid off, because it just keeps carrying over, because somebody's taking money and moving money. This is a problem. This is one of the things that Trump was talking about we have to get this debt under control. First of all, we have to pay our bills, but people who owe us are not paying us, so we can't pay them. We have the worst. The United States has the worst credit rating on the planet. We owe Japan right now $1.2 trillion. That's
I'm just Googling. It says joblessness was over 2 times higher under Trump. I'm just Googling information.
But see, what about prior to that? People weren't, because remember Trump, people were out of work because Trump wind up coming in during the pandemic. So that's where those numbers come from. Here's the other thing with the numbers. When you file for unemployment, when you stop looking for a job or certifying, you are no longer counted. So that's not even an accurate number. You're talking about people who are still filing claims or who are still looking.
So all this information online is wrong.
They're not. It's inaccurate. It's inaccurate. You're no longer counted when you stop filing. No, seriously. When you stop, excuse me. When you file for unemployment, You are counted. You are counted. No, look it up. No. No. It's because it's the truth. 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 Oh, now see, now I'm making up stuff. But people, if you look this up, it's a known fact that when, for example, if you don't unemployment, Social Security, you lose your Social Security or don't file any type of benefits that you don't claim, you're not part of the system. You're not counted. Unemployment is the biggest thing when people, because that's how they're able to judge the job market. Who's looking, who's not who's looking, who's not looking, who's working, who's not working. That money is still sitting there in queue. It's sitting there in queue. This is one of the things to where we have to look at the national debt. The national debt. Check that. The U.S. national debt is $35.35 trillion. $1.1 trillion of that we owe to Japan, and that's from World War II. We're not even talking about the money that we owe Vietnam, that we owe Germany. We're not even talking about that. To understand, first of all, and to understand money, you have to understand finance. You have to understand money, and you have to understand that when you are no longer part of the bigger picture or the system, you are no longer counted. That's how they're able to gauge unemployment and the job market and unemployment. You're no longer part of the system. But let's see, we've been strong. Okay. Let's see. So okay. But anyway, now I'm gonna put now I got one comment here that says they said what is a struggle meal? Never heard of it. Okay. If you go back through the comments, you'll say, okay, let me put it this way. A struggle meal is anything that you have in your house that you put together. Okay. Most of us have had ramen noodles maybe 2 or 3 nights in a row because there was nothing else in the house. Or we have made syrup sandwiches because there was nothing else in the house. We have made cheese sandwiches with the English muffins because there was no bread in the house. Okay. And we have to really look at this, and I'm gonna piggyback back around to this Harris and this thing here. And see, here's the thing too. Let me put it even more bluntly. I'm not going to say that. I'm going to say. Let me put it this way: if you do the research on both candidates and their background and how they came, how they grew up, and what they have, I say that if you look at Harris, never had when she jokes about riding the school bus, no, she didn't. She grew up in Canada, and her parents took her to school. Here's the thing: if your parents are well-to-do individuals, you're not riding the school bus. You're being driven every day. I don't care what anybody says. Oh, no, because here's the thing. You have to qualify to ride the school bus. You have to be at a certain income bracket to qualify for free lunch and school bus service. That is a fact. That is a fact. So Harris has never wrote when she talks about the yellow school bus, and for whatever reason, she has this infatuation with yellow school buses. You have to think, okay, is she? You have to really scratch your head. Is she really the retard that we believe she is? Yeah, you kind of have to think about that. Now, flip side on Trump. Now, here's the thing. Donald Trump's father made his fortune, made his money in real estate. The man owned hotels throughout the Midwest. But here's what he didn't do. He just didn't give his kids, he just didn't coddle them. He just didn't give it to them. He made them go to work. He made them cut a pathway for themselves. They did not, it wasn't given to them like it was for Harris. And and not only that, but she admits that. Yeah, I pretty much had it easy. Oh, really? Well, that's good. What about those who didn't? What about those who didn't, who didn't have the opportunity to go to a big name school, an Ivy League school? What about those individuals? The fact that when you sit there and you brag about it, that's what you do. Donald Trump made his way the same way his father did, one brick at a time. One brick at a time. I mean, say what you want. People say they may not like him, they might not do. But what I will say, he's a very smart businessman. Very smart businessman. This is a man who has multiple properties. And see the idea, and see, he figured this out through his father on how you keep what's yours. Very simply put, you invest in it. And not only that, but what you do is that and then this nonsense, and this is what it really is. When we talk about, the hush money during the 2016 election and this, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so what's really the crime? That he moved money around, from one bank to another, or he negotiated a better deal with the bank to get a lower interest. And not only that, nobody got hurt, nobody lost any money. Not only that, but he paid the bank back with interest. People do this every day when they go to buy a house. They kind of fudge the numbers because, you know what? This is what you're going to need. And sometimes if you got the realtor who may be in on it, let me rephrase that, who may be assisting you, say, listen, the house is $249,000. Okay. 249, and this is what you're going to need for closing costs. You're going to need this for closing costs, interest, earnest money, and this, that, and the third. And you know what, you're $200, and you come in $200 under the line of where we can actually do business. You know what happened? This guy's not going to squawk about $200. You know what he's going to say? He's going to help you out because he sees you as a potential. He sees not only as a potential customer, but as an investment. This guy's going to say, you know what, you know what, we're going to say the 200 is there. I'll give you the 200. You just come and see me in 10 days with the 200, because that's going to go in my pocket. And I'm going to say this, that, and that. You know what that is? That's called a business deal. For those who are in the dark on how to do business. And see, this is what happens when you have a lot of dumb Democrats who don't know how to do business. That's business. The man went to the bank. He negotiated a deal to get a low interest rate, to get capital and cash, to pay off different things, whether it's Stormy Daniels or not, but he didn't break the law. And they want to say that he did. Wait a minute now. Obama did the same thing. Wait a minute. Nixon did the same thing. Wait a minute. Kennedy did the same thing. Several other politicians have done the exact same thing. It's business. As they say, no harm, no foul. Here's the thing. Who got hurt? Because here's the thing. Stormy Daniels had no problem with taking the money. She had no problem with taking it. None. What would have done it? What would have been the icing on the cake if she had returned the money and said, I don't want this. This is not uncool. This is not cool for me. If she had not taken the money, then you could say, okay, that's kind of suspect. But she took it. Who's going to turn down $175,000 plus? Who's going to do that? Who's going to do that? Right. And here's the thing. Michael Cohen said, well, I paid her out of my pocket. So technically, still, there's no wrongdoing. You paid her out of your pocket. Donald Trump reimbursed you. It's a loan. It's a loan, and it's a favor and a loan that's been taken care of. What's the deal? We do this all the time. It's called the barter system. The United States does this all the time. We borrow money, we have to, and we pay it back. We say we use this as collateral, whatever the case may be. And not only that, but even the money that he used his buildings as collateral to get the loan. To get the loan. Trump went on to say earlier today that when I'm not going to say should, but when he becomes president, he's got all these individuals who came after him maliciously in his gun sites, quote unquote. I won't say he didn't say gun sites, but he has them in his sites. A lot of people are going to lose their jobs because this is what you call malicious prosecution to further a sideways agenda. That's exactly what this is. It's malicious. Very, very malicious. It is. There was an interview, and see, this is another thing that's not getting out. Everybody knows Ice Cube, and Ice Cube said it best concerning the candidates when Trump and Biden were duking it out, and they asked Ice Cube, and this was 2015, 16, and they asked Cube, they say, hey, listen, who are you supporting? And Cube said, well, this is what we want. We want to strike a deal. First of all, we want to talk to both candidates. We want to strike a deal. Whoever, and then we'll talk with both of them. Ice Cube laid his cards out on the table, asked Trump for this, and this, and told him, and Trump said, yeah, you know what? I agree with you. No problem. You know what happened? You know what Biden did? Biden never even gave him a return phone call. What does that tell you? Cube even spoke about this very thing in the current climate about how the Democrats are not for black people. And Ice Cube say what you want, but Ice Cube is he's a very intelligent individual, and he sees things for what they really are. At the end of the day, when you look at it, and this is a sidebar as far as Ice Cube is concerned, because he was part of the 90s group NWA. In actuality, Ice Cube was pretty much, my opinion, was the smartest one out of all five guys. Not to take nothing from Dre, but Cube was more business savvy, and he was smart. This is the same guy that went and say, no, man, we want our masters. We want to be able to control our own. And this is something that Cube presented to Trump. Hey, we want to be able to control our own, our own education, our own schooling, education, our own businesses, our own money. We want to be able to control. We want to be able to do that and control that, to be self-governing. Trump has no problem with that. He said that. Look it up. He said that. You can't even sit down with half of these people, Democrats, to have a conversation about certain situations. Here's a prime example. Here's another example. When Biden got in, he stated, we're going to work on prison and justice reform. You know what? Hasn't happened. Has not happened yet. And as long as Democrats are in control, it's not going to. It's not going to. And trust, in my opinion, if you go Democrat, you're going to get more of the same of what you got right now. That is it. That's not a promise. That's not a fact. That's not a promise. That's a fact. You're going to get more of what you got right now. to where you can't get health care. People are struggling to put food on the table, money in their pocket, trying to pay their car insurance, keep struggling to keep their jobs, and they're watching jobs leave America because of the economy is tanking, and they're lying to people purposely about the economy. We're not in a recession. Yes, we are. When you're taking billions of dollars and you're sending it, you're giving it to these immigrants, these illegal people you're rewarding them for breaking the law. You're sending money to Israel, who is they're participating in an immoral war. Same thing with Ukraine. These two knuckleheads have gotten us in dual wars, two wars at the same time. When Trump was in office, we didn't have one conflict. Not only that, but he resolved a couple of conflicts between two countries that had nothing to do with America. So I advise, take what you want. Take what you want from that debate tomorrow. I implore you to watch it, because I will. Because when I do come back, I'm gonna have a whole lot to say to see what I'm. But I guarantee you that this debate is going to define. It's going to define the presidency. It's going to tell you. It's very simply put. You got two fighters. You wait to the final bell, and you see which one is standing. And that's going to be my man, Donald J. Trump. Ding, ding. With that being said, I see the lights flashing in the distance. That means that's all the time that I got here tonight on this Hot Button Topics show. I appreciate all the comments. I appreciate them. I couldn't get to all of you, all of them, but they are exciting, and definitely keep them coming. Hey, with that being said, not my monkey, not my circus. Go Trump!